has protection by metallothionein, as the kidney has too, and the prostate is not going to have that. This is here cadmium and selenium in the livers of smokers. You see here selenium going down in the age and cadmium going up. And then the next one, selenium comes in the prostates. And this is of non-smokers, and you see that here is the selenium, is now black, so and then this cadmium is going up at the age, you see, even in non-smokers. And the cadmium amount is reaching the selenium levels. Now if you go to smokers, we see it's worse. Smokers, you see here that this is the selenium levels, that's rather constant, but the cadmium goes up much more and even passes the amount of selenium. And the problem is probably that in the prostate there is no protection with the metallothionein. This cadmium is really attacking the selenium immediately. Okay, this is the ratio, and you see that with the age the ratio is going down from selenium to cadmium in the smokers, yes. In the non-smokers it's more constant in the prostate. Okay, now we come to the conclusions of this talk. Yes, so the accumulation of cadmium in the prostate and its interaction with selenium are responsible for the decline of the prostate selenium-cadmium ratio and the increase of the prostate cancer risk with increasing age. The decline of the prostatic selenium-cadmium ratio with age is not unavoidable. It can be prevented, halted or reversed by minimizing the cadmium exposure. Yeah? Stop smoking, for example, yes, or do other things, no cadmium, yes, and then avoid smoking, and by maintaining adequate selenium intakes, yes. The best thing is to do it at your old age, even before you are born is the best, yes. Yes, you have to think to your father and your mother, yes. Okay, that is what Schrauzer, the conclusions are, and he comes with a few additions here, zinc and chromium, yes, which are both nutritional essential trace elements, but in excessive amounts act as selenium antagonists and stimulate also tumor growth, tumors. I know that because zinc was one of my risk factors already too, yes. It was used, zinc deficiency was also used in the 70s or 80s to treat cancer sometimes, yes. Okay, now you see here is two articles, one article showing the supporting the effect of zinc supplementation on the risk of prostate cancer. Yeah. Man who consumes more than 100 milligrams a day. Wow, full lot, yes. Normally you don't need more than 15 or something like that, yes. Had risk, more higher risk to have advanced prostate cancer, yes. And men who took supplemental for 10 or more years had also an increased risk. It is lower than 100, yes. So too much zinc is not good, yes. And one of the reasons is meat is also containing a lot of zinc, yes. If you want to see the Dutch people, the Dutch children, they were 10 or 15 years ago, maybe not now anymore, I don't know, but they were the longest on earth for that age, yes. And maybe we eat too much zinc. That was my guess, yes. Okay, chromium interacts also and abolishes the cancer protective effect of selenium. So there was an article from Schrauzer. Okay, so here's some suggestions for effective cancer prevention. Yes, and well, it's always the same as what I said. You have to reach these levels in the blood. Yes, and it's about 2 to 3 times the amount most people have in their blood or in their diet. Yes, and you can supplement it. Yes, it's very prudent, 100 to 200 microgram He was less prudent in the past, but I think 200 microgram is still the best thing to do, especially also when you compare it. Some people can reduce the autoantibodies to TPO for the thyroid with selenium, but 100 microgram is not enough. You need at least 200 microgram of the right form of selenium for that. So then you can reduce the autoimmunity with selenium and not boost the immunity. The people were afraid that when I had my thesis, I was speaking on that already. Yeah, but if you boost the immune system, then you can have autoimmunity, but that is not the case. This is regulation of the system. Okay, thank you for your attention. There was Dr. Schrauzer, and I have a small addition to make. Sorry, I have to do that because we are so excited about also saying with prostate cancer, and we are just studying it now, and it is one of the tests we do now most in our laboratory, and this is the immune therapy for prostate cancer with vitamin D3 binding protein, derived GC-MAF, yes. So in the body, vitamin D binding protein, and I'm looking for research on the relation with vitamin D or vitamin D binding protein and the dehydroxy vitamin D. But this is the reason what they think is happening. Yes, so this protein contains sugars, a side chain of 3 sugars, and the immune system takes away 2 by activity of B cells and T cells, and then you get the GC-MAF. Yes, the DC protein is also called this vitamin, and this is the best activating factor for the macrophage. And he treated this Professor Yamamoto. He is from Japan, but he is living in Philadelphia. I invited him to come here, but sorry, he's too old. He went once to New York, but then they had to hire a car, a big car for him. He's not flying anymore, unfortunately. Otherwise, he was here probably. And he was giving 100 nanogram, almost nothing, yes, for 14 to 25 weeks, yeah, until the enzyme nagalase was normal. What is nagalase? Well, nagalase is considered to relate to tumor burden also in cancers and maybe viruses. We have a speaker tomorrow on that. This is an enzyme which is thought to be made by the cancer cells to protect themselves for dying. Yes. And with this active factor, you see 14 to 25 weeks in prostatic, non-anemic prostate cancer patients. Yes, you see that they grow normal, and then after that, there was no recurrence of the disease for 7 years. And also no increase of the nagalase. They check that all the time, yes. And you see the total dose was only micrograms. A natural substance from a natural vitamin protein you have in your body. It's just sugars away. But a nagalase takes away 3 sugars immediately, so it cannot be activated. That's the problem. And here we are working in this field, and we hope to hear tomorrow more on it. Well, that was all I have to say at this moment. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope it was a little bit, I was able to transform Dr. Schrauzer's presentation a bit to you. Thank you.